Bitcoin up 5% today. We're looking very good. Before we talk about Bitcoin, let's talk about the CPI, the inflation data, because it actually just came out today and we had an expected inflation of 2.5%. Last time we had the inflation reading was 2.7%, and now it came out at 2.4%. If we look here at the chart of the last times we had the inflation readings, we can see that obviously we had a very high inflation around about COVID, just after COVID, and we've been going down and going sideways for the last couple of months. If the inflation is lower, that means the Federal Reserve can lower the interest rates, usually. But of course, we know that right now, the chairman, Jerome Powell, does not like to reduce interest rates. So what we want is lower interest rates, because that means more money in the markets and prices going up. So what happens now? Well, first of all, the inflation is down. That is good for the economy. There's more jobs usually. And if we look at what the Federal Reserve will do in the next federal meeting, the next FOMC meeting, which is in 32 days, it's actually on the 18th of March, there's a 90% likelihood that the interest rates will not change. Currently, the interest rates are between 3.5 to 3.75%, and 90% likelihood they will not change. If we look at the next meeting, which is on the 29th of April of 2026, we have some likelihood that we're going to have a 25 basis point drop in the interest rate. So going from 3.5% to 3.25% potentially. But the most likelihood is that, again, we're not going to lower the interest rates. We know that Trump wants to lower the interest rates. The US has about $39 trillion of national debt, which they have to refinance and pay back the investors. So of course, Trump wants to lower the interest rates to reduce the burden of debt that they have, and lower interest rates will mean higher prices for us. Now let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin has broken out of this trend line we've been forming over the last couple of days. You can see this yellow line, and the trend line is right here. We broke out from there just a few hours ago, maybe 6-7 hours ago. That is amazing news. The breakout was here at $67.3 thousand per Bitcoin. Now what's looking like it's going to happen is that we're going to go down. We can see already a reversal, most likely retest this line. If we manage to bounce from here and retest, then the next price target will be at the high right here, at the previous high. The high is right here. I'm marking it for you guys. And that price would bring us to around $72,000 per Bitcoin. So if we go there, and then if we manage to break out from there, the next price target is $83,700, which is the CME gap. These are the gaps that are formed over the weekend and are 90% of the time filled. We can see here, this is the gap. You can see the gap in price that Bitcoin made over the weekend from Friday to Monday. And it's all the way up here at $83,700 approximately. So if we break this high, right, this is the same high, I mentioned it here, $72,000, like we retest here, we break this high, then I think we can open long positions and go to $83,000, $84,000. Now on the long run, I still think we're gonna go down, because what I think will happen is we're gonna have a bottom at around $50,000 per Bitcoin I think in October, around about end of September, beginning of October of this year. So what I think will happen is that we could have another rally up where I'm gonna sell whatever I bought at 70,000, and then hopefully fill this gap, because it's quite a big gap. It's like a $5,000 gap. Fill this gap and then slowly go down over the next few months, go down to like 50,000 in October. And why do I think we're gonna go down? Well, if we look here at the S&P 500, we can see that we have a triple top. And the more often we retest a support line, we have 1, we have 2, and we have 3 tops. The more often we retest this line, the more the likelihood that we're gonna go down from here. Because basically, we have buyers who are trying to buy and go above the price. People that are trying to, buyers are trying to push the price up. They keep getting rejected at this price. And the more often the price gets rejected here, the more the likelihood that we're actually going to go down. There's not enough buying pressure to keep us going higher. If we zoom out a bit and look at actually on the daily, if we look at what S&P has been doing, there's a clear pattern. Look, we're always forming this ascending wedge. this triangle here, and we're consolidating. We're getting smaller and smaller. We have more consolidation, and usually we break out at the end. Same thing here. We consolidated, we broke downwards. Same thing every single time. We consolidated, we broke down. We consolidated, we broke down. And right now, I definitely think we're overdue. We can actually redraw this and draw it like here, but it looks like we are definitely gonna break out. I mean, you can see that the volatility is reducing. So while initially we had a big moves up and big moves down, the moves up and down keep getting smaller and smaller until eventually we reach a top, and I think we're gonna go down just like we did the last couple of times. And as we go down, this is the traditional markets, right? The S&P 500 is the 500 largest companies in the US. Bitcoin follows the traditional markets, and this co-aligns with what I think will happen to Bitcoin, which is that we're gonna continue the bear market for the next couple of months, at least until October of 2026. So that is my strong prediction what's gonna happen. Hopefully we're gonna have a retest here. If we do retest from here, and then we bounce out from here, next price target is $83,000. Like I said, the CME gap. Hope you guys liked it. Stay tuned, very exciting times. And please keep buying some more Bitcoin over the next couple of months. Maybe wait a bit now. Wait like a few weeks until we go to 83,000. If you want, if you have something, you can probably sell it at that point if you're not holding it for long term. Wait until we go down, and I've said everything for you guys. Buy below 70,000 up to 50,000. It's a good buying zone. So see you guys tomorrow. Bye.